this drum called a damaru is a ritual object used in Buddhism, and this drum is used in the charnel ground Cho practice as well. So it is used for the Cho practice, the severance practice, and they use this drum for that. And what it is, it's like the drum is empty on the inside, and then you have this two forces that will beat the drum to make a sound. To make the sound from this emptiness that is inside the drum. So that's where the sound is coming from the emptiness that is inside the drum. But today what I want to share, the interesting thing that I have been trying to decipher, decode about sunyata emptiness, is perfectly represented within this Damaru system, within this drum design. So you have like these two charges. So let's look at this as a positive charge and a negative charge, or a positive emotion and a negative emotion. Let's look at it that way. So when you do not play the drum, and when you do not let your negative or positive emotion strike, there is no sound produced in the drum. There is no sound produced. But as soon as you play it, there is a lot of sound that is coming from the drum. So with this, with your drum, with this negative and positive charge, your negative emotions, your positive emotions, because we consist that equally within our bodies and our minds, within our human design. We have the negative charge and the positive charge that are equal, that are kept equally within us. It's like how the dark and light forces exist equally in this world. It's like that. It's like the duality interface, which is like the daytime and the nighttime. It exists equally. So that's the system that we are living in. So we have the dark and we have the light. So we have the literal dark, which is the satanic forces, and we have the light, which is the heavenly system of our Father in heaven, the heaven that Jesus came from and the heaven that Satan came from. So we have that system. This represents that to me. It represents duality. It's like Satan came from the same place that Jesus came from. So they're part of the same heavenly system. So is our earth system. We have this polarity of dark and light, night and day, positive and negative emotions. They exist equally within us. But the dark forces have used the positive and the negative emotions of this world equally and have willed it according to how and where they need it. So they do not differentiate and distinguish between negative and positive emotions, and they use both. The satanic forces uses both negative and positive to influence the world. Within the sunyata context, within the sunya, when the drum is making no sound, within the sunyata context, when you do not use any negative and positive emotions, you just let it hang and you just let it be. You just let your negative and positive emotions hang. That is one of the Chod practices that you can do, and one of the Chod practitioner, or female Chod practitioner, Machik Lapdron, said that to just let it hang. Your negative and positive emotion, just let it hang and do not arise it. Do not do this. Do not play the drum and do not produce any sound. Do not let it arise. Do not activate it. Do not let it have power. Do not move it. Do not do this. Do not do this. So even if demons are like stirring you and letting it arise, just let it be, and it would just naturally calm down, like how it just becomes still, it stops moving, it will do that. So it will just obey the natural laws of our world, which is like called physics in science. So we'll just obey that natural law. It'll just like stop, totally come to a halt. So that's how you want to approach your negative and positive emotions, and do not let it affect you. Do not let the drum make any sound. Do not let your body and your mind make any sound. Just let it hang, and just let it come to a total halt, a total stop. So that's what you want to do. Dark and light. The satanic forces will do this to you all day. So they'll use a positive emotion and they will entice you with something, or they will use a negative emotion and they will put you down with something. So they will use a negative and positive emotion all the time. So they'll give you, like, say, a negative experience during the day, but they'll also give you some positive experiences during the day so that you forget that negative experience and you feel like your life is normal or you're fine. But it's the demons playing you. So the demons can play you and manipulate you, like let you have a really bad day, and then give you a positive experience so that you forget that you had a bad day, or you have a positive association with life in general, so that they can continuously manipulate you. So that's on like a very personal, subtle level. But if you look at, let's say, the Mark of the Beast technology, for example, if you look at that, the demons will use a lot of positive storylines to make you think like the Mark of the Beast technology is like a great human invention. It's about decentralization, it's about privacy. So they'll use intelligence and positivity, such as decentralization, privacy, owning all your data and having all your money in one digital ID, and that you do not belong to the banks and you do not belong to the government and you're totally free and decentralized. So they'll use this positive intellectual emotional basis to make you buy into the mark, for example. So they can do that. So they can use like a lot of positive emotions to get you to consume in their world. And they also use negative emotions to get you to submit to their world, such as like doing a terrorist event. So when they do a terrorist event, that means they can gain greater control over the population. They can tighten security, and they have that opportunity to like question everyone and check everyone's bag and put everyone in the position on the pretense of fear. So they will use dark and light emotions. The ultimate goal is to control you. So the ultimate goal is for you to say yes to their system, and so that they can control you. So when you just let your negative and positive emotions hang, don't buy into the negative or positive, and just let it be. Just let it hang. And if they stir it, they stir it, and then it'll just come to a total halt after a few moments. And if it really affects you, when they stir your emotions, and if it really affects you, you will end up doing this. For no reason. Make sure like you always keep your peace and do not let them stir any negative or positive emotions, and you beat the drum for nothing. Even if you are like say selling a positive idea, or doing like you believe that you're doing some kind of positive work, or beating the positive drum dharma, and you feel like you're doing positive work, it's not true, because you're just being tricked by the demons, and your positivity is just wasted, because you are in the wrong path, because you do not know the spiritual system, and you do not know the scriptures. You do not know what's happening with this world. You're just going out and wasting your time doing useless positive things for Satan. You're not doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for Christ. You're not doing it for our Father in heaven. You're not doing it for Buddha. You're doing it just for Satan, because it's like Satan's just wasting your time, keeping you busy. Like if you cannot be corrupted, he'll be like, go over there and do some social work for no reason. And so he'll just keep you busy that way. So you have to be careful when they like so when they beat your positive and negative emotions like that, you have to be careful. So this is like a great way to understand and a perfect representation of our negative and positive emotions and how it beats on the drum and produces a sound within the emptiness that is inside the drum. And your job is to just let your negative and positive emotions just hang until it comes to a total halt and stop, and you attain your total balance and realize Sunyata. When we are giving testimony and when we are practicing the dharma, the physical proof, like because people look for physical proof, and in Buddhism it does say to always look for evidence, to always ask for proof, always look for evidence and not just simply believe what you're told, even if it's said by the Buddha himself, to investigate and look for evidence, find the truth yourself. In that context, what happens is like when we practice the real dharma, like say for example, I am practicing the real dharma. So how do I know if it's the real dharma? Or how do I know if I'm not being tricked and conned by Satan? And how do I know I'm not being telepathically shamed and tricked and conned by Satan? How do I know I'm practicing the real dharma? So Father will give you physical proof, and everything is designed within his system to address everything. So when you ask those questions, they are valid questions and they're necessary questions. They're not stupid questions. We do live in a super hijacked, extremely confusing world, and there is no straight path, and everyone's been tricked by Satan through their technology system that they telepathically operate within the human brain. So how do we authenticate? How do I authenticate that I'm practicing the real dharma? I know for myself, but I cannot prove it to you. Like I cannot tell you like this is authentic, or I can't force you to believe that it is authentic. Father will give you that evidence through our rapture. So when I rapture and go to heaven, when the church raptures and go to heaven, because we have completed our spiritual practice and we have given all the testimony and we have done the work and we have given all the information necessary for what people need to know about the tribulation, when we have completed our work, then we have also achieved our own emptiness and sunyata. We have done the Vajrayana, we have done the Mahayana, a bit of the Hinayana. So it's like a mix of all of the three Buddhist vehicles. My base is the Vajrayana base, but I'm doing Mahayana and a bit of Hinayana as well. So how do I know my journey is real and authentic? Because I will rapture and I have raptured and gone to heaven. And that's why the path is authentic, the path is real. And that's my evidence. It's like once I complete my emptiness learning, I will rapture and go to heaven. And that's the proof that you should do the Prajna Paramita and follow the Prajna Paramita system if you want to go to heaven. Because Christ is the gate, Prajna Paramita is the path. It's like, how do you go through the gate that is Christ? Because there's a gazillion types of Christs in this world. People have taught a gazillion things about Christ. So which Christ? How do I do it? How do I follow? How do I enter into heaven? So you have to follow the Prajna Paramita. So that's your direct system to enter through the gate, which is Christ. Then Christ will accept you into heaven if you learn the perfection of wisdom and embody emptiness. Because this whole reality is based on deception. And how do you overcome it? Through emptiness. So it's not a very difficult concept to understand. It's pretty direct. It's a direct application. It's a direct method. It's like the emotions are crazy. Like for example, If your emotions are crazy doing this, if it's crazy, you embody sunyata. You just let it hang. You don't do anything with your negative and positive emotions, and you overcome fear and hope. You overcome the trickery of intelligence, the trickery of happiness, the trickery of fear, the trickery of intimidation. You overcome all that through emptiness. And how do you overcome deception, the great deception? Satan that fooled the whole world. How do you overcome that? Through perfection of wisdom. So it's a direct application. It's not like an abstract concept, that it's a direct method, it's a direct application. That's what I am teaching. That's what I am trying to tell you to do during the tribulation. So your path is easy, and your path, your journey, your path, your way is straight. So you're not living in this deluded reality of following all these different systems. That's not going to get you anywhere. And you have to do proper learning and proper understanding and proper investigation so that you will be accepted into heaven. And you have to do the perfection of wisdom, and you have to do the emptiness. You have to do those two things. That's like your direct path. That's your direct knowledge. And in Buddhism, the emptiness is the highest knowledge. So you are expected during the end times, which is the third wheel, which is the Vajrayana. You're expected to know the highest knowledge, and you can't be deluded in your fantasy world of this new age, Christ consciousness, like science, technology. You can't be deluded, PhD, doctor. You can't be deluded in that anymore. So the spiritual system is very hardcore. The spiritual system is very difficult, and you have to mentally penetrate and overcome the deception, and you have to physically in your body overcome it as well. And both components are equally important for you to realize emptiness. So at the end, you will realize emptiness. You'll realize the trickery that is this reality. You'll realize positive and negative has no effect on you, that Christ died and simply resurrected. It's like death had no power over Christ. Christ is the Mahayana vehicle, the second wheel, and the Mahayana vehicle is the emptiness, Prajna Paramita, emptiness vehicle. So the Mahayana teaches emptiness. So the Christ vehicle, the second Mahayana vehicle that Christ came to this earth during the second wheel of Dharma, that is the emptiness. So Christ was doing the emptiness, but he physically did the emptiness through his own body. So he basically died and resurrected, and he proved that death is not real, death is fake. So you have to be able to see these things clearly and decode these things in reality. So whether you're decoding Christ's work and connecting it to Buddhism, and or you are looking at the mainstream charnel ground or the satanic reality, the satanic religion, and decoding that through Buddhism. So Buddhism is basically your map. It basically tells you exactly what is what. So it is like a proper system of learning. It addresses everything that the human being is and all the problem that we are faced with in this world. It teaches you everything about everything in the entirety of his Buddhist teaching. Our Father in heaven has already solved every human confusion, every human emotion has already been solved and attained enlightenment for. Buddhism is like, for the modern people, Buddhism is like science. But it's even better than science, because science is like not 100%. But it is even better. It's more like everyday life. So when you're hungry, you eat some food and your hunger is quenched. You do not need science for that. It's a simple, direct method. Buddhism is like that. It's a direct method. It's not like anything abstract. It is to do with life. If there is ignorance, you overcome it with wisdom. It's a direct application. If you're thirsty, you drink water, you quench your thirst. If you're hungry, you eat food, your hunger goes away. If you're cold, you wear a jacket, your coldness goes away. So it's like that. The Buddhism works through that system. So it's not some abstract concept. It is a direct application.